You might think medieval sword fighting only belongs in movies or reenactments, but more and more people are taking it up as a serious sport. Around 13,000 fighters are now estimated to practice the long sword worldwide, and record numbers are taking part in elite contests. But the future still hinges very much on the past. Paul Rhys reports from Gothenburg in Sweden.
Ready, fence!
Nearly 800 years since it was first used on a battlefield, the medieval longsword is making a comeback. The double-handed weapon is at the centre of a rapidly growing sport known as historical European martial arts. Fighters get points for technique and control. The longsword is blunt, but it can still cut skin and break bones. Here at Swordfish, the unofficial World Championships in Sweden, Axel Pettersson is looking to add to his long list of tournament wins. But the centuries-old practice means more to him than just sport.
You have to be an athlete. I spend a lot of time in the gym. But it's also the link to my heritage, to my roots. When I fight and I manage to perform a technique that no one has seen in 500 years, I feel a link to my culture and to the men and women who fought before me, and that has a huge appeal. It helps me give perspective on life.
These championships have grown from about 30 competitors 8 years ago to more than 250 of the top fighters from 23 countries. Contests are open, and American Jessica Finley relishes the chance to pit her skills against men.
There is a certain amount of fear factor, and there's a certain amount of tactical consideration you bring to the game. They're likely stronger than you, but you try to factor that in ways that are demonstrated and written about in our medieval texts, and apply your own fight to that moment.
So, to get involved in longsword fighting, you need your helmet, so that you don't lose an eye. The rest of this armour can be optional. You, of course, need your sword, but you also need people who are willing to look back through the centuries to see how they did this for real.
Here in the Belgian city of Bruges, Bert Hivaert is one of many fighters who translate medieval texts and swordplay, revealing forgotten techniques to modern athletes.
We see ourselves as the sort of heirs of that martial tradition, so it is fantastic. And also when you read those texts, you have the feeling that you get to know these guys, and we have a huge respect for these masters.
Back in Sweden, there's a new master, and another page in the story of this martial art after centuries of missing chapters. Paul Rhys, Al Jazeera, Gothenburg.